the 4-8 breath pattern for anxiety and stress relief. So as you guys know, also, hi, I have forgotten to introduce myself for many moons. My name is Emily, otherwise known as Shamanism. Welcome to the channel. You can call me anything, just don't call me late for dinner. I'm an author, an entrepreneur, and many, many other things as well, a musician and a comedian. Welcome to the channel. Sorry for not introducing myself. Hi, hello there. I wanted to share here today a tool because as many of you know, I am someone who has been, at times, dealing with an obscene amount of anxiety. So I thought to myself, what can I do to help my people out there who may also be suffering with anxiety? What can I give them that would be useful today? So it finally came back to me. I had written this down. This is something which has been in my book for ages to bring about, and I had neglected to do it so far. So it's a breathing technique. And before you panic, don't panic. I want to put one sort of disclaimer and just say that, in my personal opinion, well, let me rephrase this. How I feel about breath work when you're anxious is basically this. Do only the breath works that you find work for you. Because, and I'll give just this short comedic story. It's not really funny, haha, but to me it was funny. As you guys know, I'm a little bit into breath work. So maybe a few years ago, something like that, I had a kidney stone and I was in the hospital and I was really anxious. And bless his little cotton socks, this beautiful nurse man was trying to help me out because I was really panicking and like hyperventilating. And he came over and he comes down and he sits down next to me and he's trying to take my vitals, or I think he was trying to give me an IV, which y'all know, needles me, nope, bye. Not a thing. Phobia, yes, bye. Anyway, I was trying not to focus on that and also trying not to like hyperventilate. And he says to me, "Are you familiar with box breathing?" To which in my head I go, "Oh Lord, help, have mercy, help this man." Because yes, I'm familiar with box breathing. And also for me specifically, box breathing when I'm already anxious is the worst thing. And I'll explain why. For me, when I'm anxious, box breathing is this thing where you inhale for 4, then you hold your breath for 4, then you exhale for 4, and then you hold your breath exhaled completely out of you for 4 counts. Now, for yours truly, when I'm already feeling anxious and I'm like, if I'm like trying to be like, let me not breathe, you know, that induces so much more panic that for me, I don't do that. So 4-4 breathing, box breathing, not for me, not for anxiety. And that is why I wanted to bring y'all this beautiful tool, which I personally find, and again, this is like the disclaimer, is essentially use the breath work for your anxiety that works for you. Not just because somebody said that you should do box breathing, because I have made myself a time or two more anxious by trying a breathing that I was recommended, which actually didn't help me. So in light of that, the particular breathing count for this one to help you if you have anxiety, and this may help you, is you inhale for 4. So inhale for 4. And then exhale for 8. Then repeat, inhale for 4. And then exhale for 8. And do that within your comfort levels. Like, you know, if the length of my breaths were uncomfortable for you, that also sounded wildly inappropriate. Might have to cut that out. If the length of your breathings is too long or too short, feel free to adjust it accordingly. However, the reason that I find this particular 4 followed by an 8 exhale to work really well is because what it does is allow you to really calm down. There are 2 things that are going on. One is that when you're inhaling, you're allowing the fresh air intake, which is always good. The second part is, unlike in box breathing where you're holding and kind of suffocating yourself at the top, you immediately are allowed to exhale. And then the other part that helps you is that not only are you exhaling through your mouth over a longer count of 8, which you can do nice and slow, you know, nice and slow, like exhaling slowly and calmly, I imagine scientifically is at least somewhat helping your muscles to release the carbon dioxide, and somehow that's helping. And also there is some science, which I don't specifically know, behind when you exhale like that, just it physically does. I don't know, runners know the trick. And if you're a runner, feel free to comment the like sciencey bit if you know. But there's something about when we breathe in and then we're exhaling out like that, that it does literally expend. So if you're spending a longer time releasing things, it helps with cramping and all sorts of stuff, actually. So fun side note, I guess, if you're having any sort of like cramping type pain, if you can inhale and then spend a longer time breathing out, that does often help with cramps. Anyway, so this breathing pattern that I offer to you today to help with your stress or anxiety, which really, really helps me, is this 4 followed by an 8 exhale pattern. So inhale for 4, and then you don't need to hold. You can immediately just go ahead and gently exhale for 8 counts. Inhale for 4, exhale for 8. Inhale for 4, exhale for 8. And you can do it as long as you need. And I can assure you that, at least for me, this is not one of those ones that will make you feel funny or lightheaded. It's just very calming. So may this breath pattern work for you. Try it out and see if it helps. And other than that, share this video if you know anyone who has anxiety that could use a tip with some breathing, and that would really help them and me out. Please do subscribe, as it helps a small content creator out like myself to get the message out there to those who I am aiming to help. And finally, if you need any support, my beautiful soul, reach out at this email address, where it would be my absolute pleasure to help you the best that I can. Have a beautiful and blessed rest of your day, and I will see you, gorgeous cats, in the next video. Namaste and much love. Bye. Y'all know, needles me, nope, bye. Not a thing. Phobia, yes, bye. And bless his little cotton socks. Oh Lord, help, have mercy, help this man. Length of my breath. Length of my breath. So that also sounded wildly inappropriate. Might have to cut that out. Induces so much more panic that, for me, I don't do that. It's bananas. Buttercup.